Hello everybody, welcome to vlog number 7, I think I'm on. I skipped last week because I didn't feel like doing it. So I didn't do it and it was great. Yay! But if you have been following along, thank you for joining me so far. I have a short list of things again that we will talk about. And yeah, let's get going. So the first thing is I've been really quiet online because I have tennis elbow and also like repetitive strain injury in my wrist because I type for a living. And I did something really stupid, which was digging really hard coconut butter out of a container. Sorry, cocoa butter. And I like messed up both my arms so badly that it was like all up in my shoulders and my neck. Like my neck was hurting. I couldn't even like hold my toothbrush. So I basically didn't wash my hair for 5 days because I couldn't shampoo. So it was pretty bad, but it was a good reminder to not do stupid things like that. But I saved all of my typing for just work. So I wasn't really around. In a way, it was actually really nice. So that's what happened. I'm still recovering slowly. Like it's not quite 100% yet. I need to be careful still. But I'm well enough now that I can hold a pen again. Like I can actually close my hands around a pen. Whereas before I couldn't even like hold a water bottle. So it was pretty bad. Anyway, yeah, so it's been an interesting time and it's really boring when you can't use your hands because I couldn't really even hold a book to read. It was boring. So I did a lot of walking and in my adventures of walking, what I realized was that I'm going to start walking more during the day. And so for the last like week and a half, I've been aiming for, I got one of those, I have a small Garmin Fit thing. I actually got it to track my heart rate because I get exertion migraines. Oh my god, it sounds like a complaining video. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying I have one because I have to monitor my heart rate when I exercise because if it crosses a certain level, it triggers an exertion migraine. I haven't quite figured out the exertion migraines yet, but I'm working on it. But it also tracks your steps. So I've been aiming for 10,000 steps because that's what they recommend or someone says we should do that. But now I'm doing like 5 miles a day and it's actually pretty good because I get to read while I walk. So I try to save my paperback reading for while walking so it motivates me to walk. And it's exciting and I feel nice, but now my legs are super sore because I went from like no walking to lots of walking. Lots of blah, blah, blah. It's been really nice. So that's what I've been doing while I couldn't type and do other things. Anyway, enough of that chit chat. What else? I need a haircut. I usually cut my own hair, but because I don't have the dexterity right now to hold scissors and cut it, I need to go somewhere and get it cut. And I have so many, it's just so dry. Anyway, enough of my complaining. What have I been doing? Well, let me show you. I've got a box of stuff. First of all, this is one of the books I read. This is Rogue One. And it is a novelization of the movie, but it actually has added details that I enjoyed. And the dry humor of K2SO came across really well in this. So I thought it was pretty good. It was a really easy read. Not expensive book either. I think Stephen's going to read it next, so I will pass that on to him. Actually, I think he bought this, but I thought it was fun. I know a lot of people hated the movie. I enjoy stories, so I am not super attached to them, so I don't really care what happens. I just want to enjoy it. And that's what I've done. I've just read it and enjoyed it. And that's how I regarded the Solo movie as well. Like, it's just entertainment. I don't care. I mean, it would be nice if Harrison Ford was in it, but anyway. It was an entertaining book. And the other book I read, which I don't have to show you because I've actually packed it up in a box to ship to the next person, was Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, I believe it's called. Let me just, I'm going to write that down so I remember to put a link. But it's, like, I like reading a lot, but that book was fantastic. And if you are, just take a look at the synopsis of it and maybe it'll interest you. But it was basically a woman who has certain set of rules to live her life, and she meets someone who kind of changes everything. But I thought it was beautifully written, and in many ways, like, a lot of us can relate to parts of the story, but it also was a good reminder to remember, like, that people are different. Like, people handle things in different ways, and some people have things going on that you don't even understand, or that they haven't shared with you or don't want to share. So it's just a reminder to be kind, and it's a good reminder for me too, because sometimes I get really annoyed or whatever. We all do, we're human. But I thought it was a beautiful story, and I really enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it. It was also a fairly, like, it's not a super long book, so it was a very enjoyable read. And it was very positive, like, it had a positive message to it, like, overall it was very nice, and it wasn't like a picturesque ending, but it was, like, realistic. And I just really liked it, so I would recommend that. Now, I've passed a whole bunch of my books on to my mom, and Peter actually just gave me one of his books that he was reading that he recommended to me. So I was just wondering, what do you do with your books when you were done? I don't typically buy a lot of books, like actual books, because I read fairly quickly. So I mean, I finish them in like a day or two, and then I'm like, oh, what do I do with this now? But since I've been walking and reading at the same time, it slowed me down, which is really nice. And it's sort of a treat for me. So I go to Costco often to buy my books, because they have a lot of like bestsellers and new books that are on decent prices. So anyway, yeah, what do you do with your books? I'm just curious, because I'm trying to come up with ideas, and I don't really have a lot of friends around here, so I can't really pass on all my books. Plus I read weird stuff. So that's my book ramble. Now, I do have a chocolate. I finished this one. This is one that I had gotten at the Lindt store when I was out with Peter and Rose. Hi. And this was a Madagascar 70%. Now, they say Madagascar chocolate has the exotic taste of Sambirano cocoa grown in the northwestern part of the island. The cocoa imbues this prestigious chocolate with a soft and harmonious character enriched with a hint of vanilla. It was actually quite nice. I probably ate more sugar than I should have in this bar, because it's 70 and not like the 88 I usually go for. But it was sweet and creamy and very enjoyable. So I actually really like this one. Now, I have cut down my sugar intake a bit, like my chocolate intake, because I was eating like an excessive amount. But yeah, I'm still doing the keto diet, but I'm so lazy. I don't pay enough attention to it. But it's going well. Like, I eat my standard things and everything is fine. But I have sort of stagnated on my weight loss, so that kind of sucks. But that's okay. Now, I have a whole bunch of mailbox goodies, because that's the exciting part. Now, the mailbox goodies, sorry, are a variety of things. I received, these are actually from a little while ago, because this is like 2 weeks of stuff. This is from Simar. He sent me a first flush Darjeeling. Now, last time he sent me the second flush, which was more intense. But now he says this is a clonal. The plantation is made up of grafts from a few trees, and it has the charm of Darjeeling, but without some of the complexity. So it's like lighter. It's like an easier tea to drink. I thought it was quite nice, and I quite enjoyed it. But I think I really like Darjeeling in general. What I also found really interesting about this was, unlike the second flush Darjeeling, this one was much more green. And when I don't know if you can see this. Yes, you can. And when I brewed it, it was much lighter. It almost looked like a green tea. So that was quite interesting. The world of tea is so fascinating and so fun. So I don't drink, so I enjoy exploring complexities of other things like chocolate and tea. Okay, so that was one thing. Another thing that I received in the mail was a parcel from Papier Plume. It came with a little notepad and a box of ink. And I'm not going to show you what the ink is yet, because it's a special for Fountain Pen Day 2018. Ooh. And the pen is a Faggionato Pétrarque. This is the Majestic finish. I think this is beautiful. But this is not a pen video. I'm just showing you. I'm going to do unboxing videos of all this stuff, so you can see later. And I received a parcel from PV Akkerman in The Hague, which was one of my favorite places on the planet. And so I received a bottle of the new Delfts Blauw ink. which is this. It's an erasable, like washable blue, and it's like commemorative of the Delft blue style. Now I'm gonna have an expert come in right here, and we're gonna talk about this. He's gonna give us a bit of background, and then we can resume with my other stuff. So let us pause for that clip. Hello! This is the expert that I have hired for this segment.
Where's the money? Alright, I'll take it.
Okay, so I wanted to have him here so that he can explain the 3 items, which are hopjes, stroopwafels, and Delfts Blauw. So let's start with the hopjes. But first of all, I can't remember if I said this in the previous portion before I cut to this. This is all from PV Akkerman in The Hague. Not Amsterdam, The Hague. So, Steven, can you tell us a little bit about hopjes?
Yes. This is...
Why am I even here?
I don't know. I asked myself the questions. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, what is this? This is a type of sweet, or if you prefer, candy. And it says, I don't know if you can read that, but it says koffie, which is the Dutch word for coffee. Hopjes are a coffee flavored treat, and traditionally the story has it that there was a baron called Hop, I think, who, to cut a long story short, loved coffee, but his doctor said you shouldn't have any more coffee, and then overnight he let one of those old style metal pots of coffee with cream on his little stove slash warmer in his apartment slash abode, and then overnight the coffee reduced further until in the morning he found a sort of blackish goop, and for reasons utterly beyond me he decided to taste it and found out that it tasted really nicely, because of course the cream had, I guess, sort of condensed, and the coffee had sort of reduced and become very thick and crunchy.
Well, you want to hear a story?
There was a story.
I tweeted this today.
Oh, really?
But today, I was going through all my pen wraps and stuff, but I was also eating chocolate at the same time, and then I saw a little like brown nugget on the table, like on the desk, so I ate it. I was like, oh, chocolate, but it turns out it was a piece of leather.
Yeah, that was...
So...
Well, these things happen. So in other words, people have interesting phagias, where they eat things, not necessarily food, but in any case, that, according to legend, is the story, because the Baron then went to some confectioner. I think he actually lived above the confectioner and said, can you reproduce this, because I can no longer drink coffee, but this tastes like coffee. And then the hopje was born. Hopje now bears the name Hopje, Little Hop, after the Baron. Hop, or Van het Hop, or whatever his name was, but something with hop in it. That was a short version, so imagine I would have told you the long version. In any case, it's a coffee-flavored treat.
Things I do for you. But
and
anyway,
it's hard.
they're delicious.
If you get one, don't bite it hard, because you will break your teeth. They're very hard candy.
So these are the goodies, though, and the thing is, one of the things I really miss about the Netherlands is going to The Hague to visit Akkerman. And so we would go there, I would probably spend obscene amounts of money purchasing things I didn't need or never will need, but it was just one of the things that we did, and then there would always be like a basket of hopjes, so I would leave with like a handful to snack on. So it was really nice, and so I enjoy these. I'm gonna save them for a treat.
Yes, they're very nice.
Okay, so next up we have the new ink from Akkerman, which is a Delfts Blauw. Maybe you could just tell us a little bit about the color and what Delfts Blauw is, etc.
It's blue, and it's not just any blue, it's a washable blue ink, but the name of the color, Delfts Blauw, refers to a specific type of sort of earthware.
Oh, earthware! I did an unboxing video after I recorded the previous segment, and I kept calling it tiles, but I was like, what is the word? But it's earthware.
Yes, because you do find it on tiles, but it's specific coloring they use, which I if I remember correctly, is some sort of oxide. But it's a very special shade of blue, and you find it on tiles, and they would look something like this, or you find it on vases or on little jars or whatever.
But it's very recognizable.
It's very recognizable. It's a unique shade of blue, I would say, when it comes to this kind of pottery or earthenware stuff. Now, of course, even though I said it is unique, the concept is not unique. There's much pottery with blue in it. I mean, there was a lot of Chinese pottery that is white glaze with some sort of blue coloring on it, right? But the city of Delft, which is fairly closely located closely to The Hague, it was very famous for making this type of pottery. Now, some of these things, I think that sort of the golden age of this kind of stuff was mid-1600s to mid-1700s, I want to say. Those things are the most sought after, so that goes to show how far back this goes in time. And there are places, old museums and such, or old houses, where you find a whole bunch of these traditional tiles on the walls, and those tiles are from the 1600s, and those are worth an absolute fortune. So you can make a lot of money if you break away a wall and you find a very old set of tiles in this color. And they come with all kinds of very Dutch scenes. There's the windmill, there's Akkerman ink, very Dutch, there's tulips, all that kind of stuff. So the ink is blue, but the Delfts Blauw is a very specific type of pottery.
Excuse me, that was my gift.
Oh, I'm so happy. It refers to that earthenware, Delftware, officially.
Well, it's very lovely. Now, I can't remember if I said this in the rest of the video, because the idea was, he wasn't here when I recorded the other half, the rest of the video. But I think this is one of the best gifts you can get as a souvenir if you're visiting the Netherlands. Not just the ink, but this particular ink. For a friend, family, for yourself, you know, like instead of a keychain or a magnet or something, I think this is really unique.
Yep.
It's beautiful. I also think this box is like, it's quite sturdy. It's very elegant. So anyway, it's not supposed to be a blotting out the ink forever, but I just wanted you to do that.
No, but it's nice because it also, I agree, as a souvenir, especially if you have ink-loving friends, or even as a gift for yourself, it is a nice souvenir. And of course, once the bottle runs out, you have the nice
this
bottle.
This is a really practical souvenir, but also a beautiful, classy, elegant souvenir.
Yes, not something like some porcelain windmill that you put somewhere and then never look at again. You know,
and then your cat knocks it over.
You can actually use
because it's like, yeah. Okay, the last thing we have was actually a gift, but I just wanted to show you. These are the stroopwafels.
Notice again the Delfts Blauw theme here.
Stroop. How does a Dutch person pronounce it properly? Like, how am I saying it wrong?
Stroopwafel.
Oh, so I was actually not terribly off.
It was pretty good.
Now, these are delicious. I had not had one of these before visiting the Netherlands. This is what they look like. You've probably seen variations of them now in stores, like they have other companies making them. They usually come in a little tin of sorts, but maybe you can describe to us what a stroopwafel is.
Yes.
I mean, I can too, but he's Dutch, so I might as well make use of him.
Stroopwafel, literally syrup waffle, is exactly what it is. Two thin wafers, which are kind of crunchy.
I think they were crunchy before the syrup was added.
Yes.
So the top layer that has not been syruped is still crunchy.
As you can see, these are not particularly large, but this is the normal size. So this is a good normal size.
They also have mini ones.
There are mini ones.
Which are dangerous because you could eat like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, those are very addictive. So it's basically a waffle, then a layer of syrup, a sort of caramel, and then another layer of syrup. But the caramel is chewy and soft. It's not brittle and hard. So the traditional way you do this is you take the stroopwafel, take a cup of tea, place the stroopwafel outside the plastic, so not in the plastic, on the cup, which is difficult here because it almost falls into the cup because the cup is too big. You put it on your hot tea in a cup
or
that actually
coffee.
fits, or coffee, but preferably tea. Then the syrup will slowly sort of melt, and then you eat it. And it becomes very gooey and it's very nice. It's so really quite sweet, but it is nice. And the fun thing is, if you go to markets in the Netherlands, then often you find places that make them fresh. And then the waffle itself is not this size, but it's about
you will find them because you'll be walking down a shopping street and all of a sudden you will be hit by the smell of like toasting waffles. And it is a smell that is irresistible. Like you cannot resist this smell.
3 streets away, you know that, and then you have it because it's hot. The syrup is molten. It's chewy. It's soft. It's sweet. It's
only a couple euros, but they're big.
It's
so you get
really
it
good.
freshly made, and you go there, and then they give it to you in like a little thing, and it's all warm and toasty in your hands.
It's very good.
Yeah,
It's a very
really good.
wintry food, I think, because it kind of warms you up and it's sweet and gives you energy and it's just delicious. So
Yes.
it's very good.
So, thank you, Mr. Dutchman. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Dr. Dutchman,
Yeah.
for your expertise and contribution. Thank you so much, Paul, for sending this over
Yes,
for
it's
us.
really very kind.
It's absolutely wonderful. It's not only that it's the delicious goodies, it's also it evokes very nice memories of living in the Netherlands. So it's
Yeah.
very nice. And I will also keep the tin, because the tin
The tin
you
is
can
cute.
use.
Yeah, that's a fun thing.
Put ink samples in it or like whatever you want. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
That's all. So now this is going to end and it's going to resume in the next clip where it's just moi.
I will disappear. Bye.
And then we'll come back. The other stuff is, these are goodies from Paul. Now if you order from Akkerman, there are hopjes. And if you go in store, there are hopjes. These are delicious. But again, we're going to have the expert come in to talk about these. Actually, he will have already talked about all this. So you know what it is. And the other thing was the stroopwafels, or stroopwafel. I think that's how Dutch people pronounce it, stroopwafel. But you will already have seen this by the time I'm showing you this now, because the expert has already been here. So you've seen that. And I actually think that's what I had. That was all. Like all I had. Oh no, I have 3 more things. Oh, 3 more pens. I have a Sailor 1911 standard key lime, a Benu Pen Hexagon-D, and a Benu Pen Parrot. So that's a lot of color going on there, like a lot of wildness. It's pretty exciting. And other than that, I'm going to throw in a couple clips of some walking we had done. We had gone on a hike in the Gate Sanctuary again after it had snowed, and it was beautiful. And this time I was able to do 2 full rounds, which ended up being something like 9 kilometers, I think, which was awesome. You know, not terrible. So that was really enjoyable. It was really beautiful and peaceful out there. And I really enjoyed it, like in terms of the serenity. Serenity now! And it was very serene. So that is what I have been up to. And other than that, like, just the usual life goodies and such. So I am going to be going to the Scripters show in a couple weeks. The Scripters Toronto Pen Show. So if you will be there, come say hi, or if I see you, I will come say hi. I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be really nice. I have family and friends out there, so it'll be nice to see everybody. But you probably will hear from me one more time before then, and then I will likely just do a Scriptus type vlog when I'm out there. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up now because I don't want to bore the pants off you. You should only be like 10 minutes, 15 at most, because that's my attention span and that's probably yours too. Plus, I have a whole bunch of other things I need to do today still. So I'm gonna get going on that. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been sort of fun for you. I'm gonna sign out. You know where to find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Patreon is Gourmet Pens. That's where I am. That's what I do. Thank you. I will see you next time. Ta-ta. Bye-bye. See you later. Sayonara. Goodbye.